What's up and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today we're talking about a brand new film that has finally found its way to the world of streaming. It's My Spy. In fact, 3 new films came out this past week, and I'll be talking about each of them one after the other. So today I'm looking at My Spy from Amazon Prime. Tomorrow I'm looking at Will Ferrell's new Netflix comedy, Eurovision Song Contest, and the day after that I'm looking at Steve Carell's new film, Irresistible. I gotta say, it feels pretty good to be getting back into the swing of watching newer films. Even if they are still coming out every now and then, My Spy stars Dave Bautista, Chloe Coleman, and Kristen Schaal, as it is directed by Peter Segal. He's known for quite a few noticeable comedies like Tommy Boy, Anger Management, 50 First Dates, and Get Smart, a lot of which I've had a lot of fun with and have enjoyed profusely. So where does this one stand among the rest? Is it inconvertibly great? Let's get cracking. This review is brought to you by the word of the day, incontrovertible, not open to question, aka indisputable. My Spy is about a spy named JJ that doesn't always follow the rules, so he is demoted from spy to surveillance. His mission is to watch a family just to see if a criminal will show up, even though all the evidence points to the contrary. The family consists of a mother and daughter, and when the daughter finds out about the spies watching them, she blackmails JJ to teach her how to be a spy. So before I watched this movie, actually, while I watched the movie, the first thing that popped in my head was films like The Pacifier with Vin Diesel, The Game Plan with The Rock, right? You know, big muscle-bound guys and a little kid dynamic thing. But the more I watched it, the more I understood that this was actually closer to a much older film, Kindergarten Cop with Arnold Schwarzenegger, as that was about a cop undercover watching a mother and son waiting for a criminal to show up too. Not only that, but out of all of these movies, Kindergarten Cop was both a family film and not a family film at the same time because of violence, because of some language. And you know what? The same thing can be said about My Spy. That actually makes me happy because Kindergarten Cop was freaking great. I love it. When given a choice between all of these movies, I'd pick Kindergarten Cop. However, I am not entirely sure what I'd choose to watch next because The Game Plan, The Pacifier, and My Spy are all pretty similar in tone. That is, it feels like a typical run-of-the-mill family film with silly humor. Nothing about it is really that serious, and because of that, you can't really get that pulled into the story. You can laugh at parts, you can giggle at others, but there's no real tension or sense of urgency. The story itself doesn't even fully know what it wants to do, because this spy is basically put in a scenario that isn't meant to be a big deal, so it's not. The only film of the bunch that had a good range of balancing tones is undoubtedly Kindergarten Cop. I'll tell you this much. My Spy has the essence of something pretty decent. I like the idea of what they were going for, and I like the chemistry between Dave Bautista and Chloe Coleman. I found that to be pretty sweet, and there's a father-daughter dynamic going on here. Coleman was cute, she was sassy, she did a pretty good job melting Bautista to the point of being a big teddy bear, which works pretty good, but nothing regarding villains, or bad guys, or whatever. None of that was very interesting. Instead, I didn't feel threatened by this bad guy. I felt that everything was mostly predictable, that I knew exactly how it would play out, and essentially, I was right. Instead, I would say that the main reason to watch this film would probably be for the humor. It's not hilarious or anything. I did chuckle here and there, and Bautista mostly blends into this role pretty well. At the end of the day, this movie is incredibly safe. It doesn't really feel like they took any risks at all here, so when I'm looking at the things that stand out as good, it's not that impressive. For instance, on my rating model, I can tell you that the pacing in the film is pretty decent. It knew what they wanted. It knew how they wanted the story to play out, and everything there is contained pretty well. I can also admit that they made the film that they intended to make, the way they intended to make it, and that deserves praise, because some people don't always know how to do that. But that's it. Those 2 things are the only things that stood out to me as good. Likewise, not many things stood out as bad either. Maybe a lack of real story depth, maybe it's unoriginal, maybe it's predictable, maybe I don't feel like buying it or recommending it to others. But again, that's it. This movie consistently stayed in the realm of just bland, safe decisions. So I'd have to label this movie cinematically monotonous. My unbiased score is 64%, and my biased score is 58%, averaging the 2 scores to a final score of 61%, which means that My Spy gets a letter grade of D. Again, that means it's fine, just nothing much to write home about. Okay guys, it's your turn to tell me what you thought about this film in the comments section down below. Did you think that it was a sweet film? Did you think it was funny? Would you mind rewatching it? Or do you actually consider it a movie that's fine for maybe a single viewing And that's it. Let me know down below. And for YouTube, you know what to do. Subscribe to this channel if you like this review, because there's more like it coming out. Hit the thumbs up button, because that always helps out my channel. And don't forget about the little bell icon, because that'll help notify you when I come out with my next review. Until then, peace out!